Hey YouTube, it's Steve coming from Rescape, the channel that seeks to aid and benefit people by helping them be aware or more informed about their fundamental perception of reality and how affecting that or giving them the opportunity to know that and to change that would aid and benefit them in future aspects of their lives, to change who they are as a human being, to be better, to do better things, things they didn't think was possible, to help change the world. Today, okay, so I'm late again. Sunday was all of last week was pretty rough. I'm not going to say it was an incorrect thing to happen, but I don't know if you watched last week's video and watch my video now. I'm probably a little bit more low key, and I'm probably gonna be like this for a while. I'm going to do this week's video on what I call spiritual warfare. And before you start jumping around thinking I'm talking about angels and demons and things like that, I consider spiritual warfare to be warfare between good and evil on a social level, like having a conversation, on a political level, on a national level with military, on any kind of level where there's conflict. Now, the reason that I call it spiritual warfare is because it the past few videos I haven't been talking about wholeness, but if you watch most of my early videos and maybe or up to recently, I talk about wholeness and like whole people and what whole people are like. Now, when you have spiritual warfare, what you're going to have, if I say good and evil, you're going to be thinking of like Aragorn in Lord of the Rings taking out, Sauron or something like that. Like you have the White Knight and the Dark Knight or whatever. But real, like in reality, like real life, and this isn't depicted very often, when you have good versus evil, the side of good has all the power. The side of good has already won. The side of good is truth. Like if you have light and darkness, like if you put light and darkness together, darkness is the one that recedes. Light has complete dominance, and whole people have complete dominance. And if you believe in God, well, if God's completely good, and he has complete dominance, and so why is there no one competes with him? So why is there still this thing going on? But there are advantages to the dark side. Now, this is the advantage to the dark side. The dark side can be tricky because they don't have to maintain the truth. They can lie and deceive, and as many people will know, if they travel down the spiritual path, sorry, glove's clawing me, it's oftentimes easier to rile people up than it is to remain calm. And so the way the showdown works is this. Let's say you have a whole human being and then a human being who is evil, a broken human being, like badly broken. The whole human being doesn't want to compete because he knows there's nothing to compete. There is no competition. He's aware of that. Now the broken human being wants to do everything in their power to make the whole person broke. The whole human being wants to make the broken person whole. So the way this plays out is that you've got a whole person seeking to reveal truth and love and grace to a broken human being. Meanwhile, the broken human being is seeking to deceive the whole person into believing they're broken and that there is conflict and that they have power. The only reason that broken people or broken entities have power is because whole entities believe they have power. It's the deception. If whole entities hold on to the truth, which is what makes them whole, is knowing the truth, then they'll know that there's no conflict because the broken entities don't have power to compete with. It's like it's a gambling, it's like a game of poker, and they just bluff. Now it sounds pretty simple. Let's say you're a whole person, you already have all power, and you know you have all power, and you know there's no competition. So, but the problem is, it's like, let's say you're scared of heights, and you're walking on a platform. You know there's no way you're going to fall. But let's say the platform has clear glass on, floor, so you can look down and you're standing on the glass and you can see like 100 stories below you, and you get vertigo and you're scared, and that's how it works. Because being a whole person is about becoming one piece and one entity in yourself, such that when you have broken people trying to like rile you up with insults or to like mess with you or whatever, that you are calm and composed. But if you have a piece of you or a part of you that is not calm and composed, it can get the rest of you riled up as well. So, and it's like, well, how do you control, if you're afraid of heights, how can you stop from being, you know, if someone, not saying they could use that against you, but that's just an example that you can logically know something to be true, in your body, your mind, or spirit will still react differently than what you know to be true, and now you have to bring yourself back in and maintain that repose. So the good person is trying to get the broken person to be whole, basically snap them out of it, because the broken person doesn't know the truth. If they knew the truth, they wouldn't be broken, because they would, you know, they would realize the consequences of their actions down the road. But so then the question becomes, the whole person has all the power, but which is easier to do, make a whole person broken or a broken person whole? And it is. I think it's a pretty even match, like, because the broken people don't have a lot to work with, but they don't have to work very much to, because for the whole person to win, the broken person would have to become completely whole. But for the broken person to win, they only need to break a piece of the whole person. So, and this does work on a spiritual level, I guess, but it's interesting to note that, like, in popular culture, when you have like good versus evil, there's just like clashing of like, oh, who's gonna win, you know, like the white hats and the black hats. But in reality, like, it really is, if you're a whole person, you're based on truth, and you know the darkness has no power over you, and the darkness is looking for every possible way to make you believe otherwise. And this goes on a lot of different levels and different aspects of it, and Glow's about to jump in my lap again. But if this is the first time you've heard this sort of thing, then you can know, like, who is a good person? Well, a good person doesn't compete. A good person just minds their own business. Like, why would a good person compete? And if a bad person starts the fight, what are they looking to gain? Like, maybe they want to cause trouble, right? So, not rocket science, but I'm sure there's more I want to say about this. I guess the basic idea is that it's not, good versus evil is not a competition. It's a charade where, and you think, if, like, for example, God could destroy evil, why doesn't he? Because he wants people to come to him. So like Superman with Lex Luthor. Superman could destroy Lex Luthor, but he's obeying the law. And so good people, you know, even though you have all power, there's still, you know, there's still limits to that. So it's a good matchup. If it wasn't a good matchup, it wouldn't exist to begin with. So, but I just wanted to post that out, just to let people know. Maybe you can apply that into your life. So only 8 minutes. Wow, this is a short post. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments, post in the comments, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.